Okay. So now we're on to this. This is from Casual Chuck. This is SB19. What nobody understands about Ken. So I had quite a few of these videos recommended for me for SB19. So that's what we are taking a look at. I'm guessing this is going to be in the similar kind of documentary style, but I'm not sure. We're going to see. Let's go. Completely okay. I just gotta say that they're super adorable. Yeah. I also recommend the TTT fake Squid Game. Oh, yes! That is something that I really, really want to watch. I think that's the next one I'm gonna watch after the Soulmate one. Because that one looks so, so fun. I've seen that one thumbnail of it constantly, and I'm like, I need to watch this. I want to watch it so bad. Oh, it's loud in my ears. Oh, this is really edited like a documentary.
Sino ang makakalimutan? Hindi mong patapos na, nagkamali pa siya. Bakit naman Ken? Bakit si Ken? Bakit si Ken?
Please stop it.
Interesting.
Ken is, in my opinion,
Is this the last thing we're watching? There's this, and then there's a couple covers from One We. And then,
the most successful idol in P-pop history.
That's the last thing on my
Most
list.
fans see him as someone who's living the life most of us can only dream of. But in reality, there's a lot more going on behind all the glitz and glamour. So in today's video, we will reveal the challenges he had to go through just to get where he is today. From being a scrawny kid who only ate instant noodles on his birthdays to becoming the CEO of his own company. I know, Ken's story is like a definition of rags to riches.
CEO.
And the haters are not having it. He quickly became one of the most polarizing figures in the P-pop industry. But before we talk about all that, let's talk about his humble beginnings because it's straight up inspiring.
Casual Chuck is so cool. And the way he edits. Seriously, such a good channel.
It all started in Pagadian, Zamboanga del Sur. This is the
Okay.
countryside where Felipe John Suson was raised. His mom
So
wanted to
baby.
name him Kenji, but his grandpa Felipe insisted to name him Philip. He was the youngest member of a family that barely had anything financially. They were very poor that instead of a cake on his birthday, all he gets is a plate of instant noodles. Life was so hard that having fried chicken was heaven for him, so it quickly became his all-time favorite. Because of this, both of his parents had to go overseas to find
Super nothing to do with the subject, but I wanted to ask if you watched the Thai lesbian series on YouTube called Gap the Series. I think you would like it. It's my favorite series. I have not watched it. So, I mean, you think I'm gonna enjoy it? You're probably right. Is it like a TV show? Like, because it's on YouTube, obviously, but
better
is
paying
it like
jobs to
real people? Like,
support
tell
the
me more about
education
it.
of Ken and his older sister. He had to be taken under the care of his grandparents. He then grew up in a church and his grandpa was the pastor. He was just a scrawny kid who likes mathematics and discovered drawing as his first talent.
Okay.
So he
TV
went
show.
on to become an editorial cartoonist in school.
Ooh.
Family gatherings in the Philippines always require a karaoke machine. And Kent's extended family wasn't a
check it out
stranger
then.
to that. He used to hide during these occasions because he was always asked to sing.
Maybe I'll even
I
post
was
it
told
on
by some sources that Ken had a very good singing
as a
voice
reaction
as a
if
kid, but lost
people
his
are interested.
confidence when puberty hit because it gave him an ultra deep voice, which turned out to become one of his greatest assets in the future because
Oh,
of the
yes.
dude named Pablo.
I never thought na may mga tao talaga makapag-appreciate ng voice ko. Kasi hindi ako ganun
From a company called Idol Factory. It's a bit spicy though. You can deal with a little bit of spice.
sa voice ko kasi yung range ko mababa lang.
As long as it's not
tapos
too
malalim
spicy.
yung boses ko. Ngayon, parang naging na-appreciate ko na yung boss ko dahil may mga tao na appreciate Nice.
Anyway, his newfound love for music got him to learn his first musical instrument without anyone teaching him. So he
Yeah,
ended
that's
up becoming
crazy.
a southpaw guitarist, but later fixed it as he learned more. He was also active in sports, representing his school in regional tournaments. He played some table tennis and sepak takraw as a spiker. For those who don't know, this position requires exceptional skills to perform explosive jumps to block and spike the ball. The teacher saw
Is that like
potential
volleyball
that
soccer?
can translate into good dancing, so he was offered to join the dance club for better grades.
It doesn't show anything.
He was
It just meant
hesitant
for
at
posting.
first,
Gotcha,
but when he
gotcha.
tried,
Just put a
you'll
warning
know
on
what
it.
happened next. Watching his early clips feels like he was born to dance. He was even hired by his school to choreograph some dance routines. He then moved to Cagayan de Oro to study architecture in college. He became a member of the
Architecture.
dance crews called Excite, GA7, and Amigo 7. These last two crews were so good, in fact, Ken had a crewmate named Joshua who went on to become a member of a successful international idol group in the future called Z-Boys. They were beating everybody in the countryside, so there was no point in competing there anymore. It was time for the big leagues. They got invited to join major K-pop dance competitions, and
know
this
that
was the
choreo.
first time when Ken met other SB19 would-be members. Not as brothers, but as enemies. In one particular contest, Josh and Stel's crew defeated Ken's because they already had a GOAT status in the industry at the
Okay. Thank you
time.
for coming. Thanks
Ken
for staying
accepted
for so
defeat
long.
gracefully and even asked to be trained by Josh, which actually
Enjoy the rest of your
surprised
day
him
as well.
because
Thanks for
he
being
thought Ken
here.
was a show-off.
Kinausap niya po ako eh. Sabi niya sa akin, Idol Josh. Ganun po tawag niya sa akin yun, Idol Josh. Pasali naman ako sa ano nyo. Pa-training naman ako sa grupo nyo. Kahit sa gilid lang ako.
But because of their
Bye.
distance, the training together never happened. Ken then went home to continue his studies. Fast forward to 2017, he received a message from Josh. It was an invite to audition for the 5th member spot of SB19. But there's one problem. Ken had no money, so Josh was like, no problem, I'll take care of it. Ken then told his grandma about stopping school to pursue it, and she was very hesitant because she thought it was a scam, and his parents overseas would have automatically said no. But Ken was so close to his grandma that he managed to convince her to go in secret. So our country boy took off to pursue his dreams. He had nothing with him except his phone, his clothes, and a 1,500 peso pocket money. This time when he arrived at the airport, there
That's
was no crew.
crazy.
It was all him. So imagine how that must have felt. Anyway, he took a taxi to SBT Talent Camp, and of course, the driver scammed him. He had to pay 600 pesos for a supposedly 150 peso trip. What a ripoff. Anyway, he finally met Josh and the boys and started training with them for a year while crashing into a distant relative's house to rest up. He slept on the floor, not with a comforter, but a banig. Because if he didn't, he would be homeless. Ken had no salary when he was still training, so he moonlighted as a small-time model to survive, which is an experience that would play a big role in his future. The dude was literally fighting for his dreams every single day. So here comes 2018 when they finally debuted, and though it was a rocky start, they gradually progressed to become the greatest P-pop group God has ever
Oh, it
created.
does sound really good.
If you want to know more about their story as a
Huh.
group, check out
I'll
the
definitely have to
SB19
check it
story
out.
series I made. Links down
How long
in the
is it?
description. You can also join the highest tier of our channel's membership if you're interested to be credited as one of the executive producers. So how did Ken become the most polarizing P-pop idol? Like, how is he either obsessively loved by fans or obsessively hated by bashers? Well, he has this persona of a badass dude who doesn't give
Yeah.
a shit. And if you combine that with one of the many accusations thrown at him, then they got themselves a new P-pop villain in the making. But there's one thing in common between all those issues. They lack evidence. There are a few exceptions though, but you can't say a person is arrogant just because he looks cool and badass.
Yeah.
The dude is even a softie. He tends to cry in interviews and emotional moments. His awkwardness as a kid is still there, and this TikTok clip says it all.
Me and you and me, just us and your friend Steve. Do 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 Steve. Do 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 Steve. Do 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 do
Oh,
do
boy.
do Steve. Do 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 do
He's just a
do
bit
Steve.
quiet,
Do, do,
and people see it as
do, do,
mysterious.
Steve. Do 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 Steve. Do 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 do
12
Steve.
episodes.
Also, you can't just call a person lazy just because you've seen a few clips of him sleeping. I mean, isn't it a result of him working too hard? Being an idol and running your own clothing company at the same time is no joke.
Bro,
The dude only used to draw this aspiration, but now he made it happen.
that's
He
wild.
managed to build a company that sold out merch in just minutes. It's insane. It's even rumored that his company is now worth more than $1 million. Whether it's true or not, it put an even bigger target on his back. And haters started coming up with even more ridiculous claims, like accusing him of copying 2 K-pop music videos just because they have a similar vibe. This was easily debunked though. If you want to check it out, I made a video about it, link down in the description. His main dancer position got also heavily criticized because of one single clip of him messing up on live TV. It was unfair in my opinion because Ken has always been consistent in his dance performances, yet the haters suddenly forgot about how good he really is. Ken never fired back. Or did he?
Oh, you just randomly post this on like Insta or something?
So why does the poultry still exist and are
Interesting.
still growing in numbers after all the bashing? Well, it's because he doesn't only have the alluring personality, but he also has the capability to back it up. Scratch that. Capabilities. What's crazy about Ken is that he has already shown us enough talent like his exceptional dancing and singing that is enough to fulfill a main vocal role.
Oh yeah. He's got a gorgeous voice.
Na nanggagaling sa aming dalawa. Kung lumisan ka, wag naman sana. Ika'y gumabit na.
Yeah.
Di magkawala.
People are awful.
Aking sinta, ikaw lang dahanan.
Especially in an industry that like is fueled by
Yet he still
people
has a
hating
lot of
other
secrets.
groups
I'm
in
telling
order
you,
to
man, this
prop
guy
up
is a
their
living
own.
anime character. Have you heard of an idol who is also a CEO? A dancer who is
Couple of
known for
them.
his aerial flips but never tells us that he can also breakdance.
Wow.
A singer who writes and co-produces his own songs. A musician that plays guitar, keyboard, drums, and can even beatbox. A fashion influencer. A man who plays sports like basketball, billiards, volleyball, badminton, table tennis, boxing, and sepak takraw with decent proficiency.
I need to
A
see
skater
them
boy,
play this game.
an
That's
artist,
wild.
A philanthropist, and most especially, a man of faith. I initially thought that the Superior Sound brand was all
Yeah.
about him, but I was quickly proven wrong when I found this Bible verse underneath his Bulan CD, Hebrews 1, 5-14. The entire passage is lengthy, but it all boils down to Christ being the superior of all beings. I mean, all of us have different religions, some don't even have one. But I just respect people like him who stand firm behind their beliefs. As of today, Ken has established himself as an arguably the most successful P-pop idol and the richest among his co-members.
Whoa.
And it's just the beginning. They're still on their way to introducing Filipino music to
Yeah.
the world through the US as of the making of this video.
That's how I found
His
him.
group SB19 is the first one to ever do it.
Yeah.
So what have we learned about Ken's story? For me, it was his persistence and willingness to take risks. Have you ever noticed that sometimes it's your loved ones that said no to your aspirations? Because, they care about you. They don't want you to fail and all that. Do you know how many people have had visions, ideas, and huge career moves that they were about to do, but they allowed the word no to stop them? For all I know, you might be one of those
It's
people.
crazy, like watching
difference with
videos
Ken
like
is
this
that
and learning about
He never
SB19 and
gave
how
the
many
power to the word no.
struggles they
It
went
was his own
through
grandma
to
who
get where
tried to
they
stop
are
him, but he continued.
here.
Yes,
I
haters
know.
exist, but he didn't reject his own ideas just because they rejected his ideas. Haters hate because they feel small when your
High-end
ideas
Philippine
start turning
music
into
are getting more
reality.
attention worldwide. I think
He
it's really
once
cool.
said in
Yeah,
an interview that success is the best revenge, so he stopped killing them.
I
with
agree.
kindness.
I need to
This
listen
day,
to some Thai music.
Ken has been torturing them with
I need to listen
success.
to some more P-pop, to be fair, but getting into SB19 was just the kind of beginning, but can't wait to listen to more of it. That was really cool. Thank you again to Casual Chuck. That was a lovely video. he has provided many a content for me. So, yeah.